second semester of the University of Ghana Legon campus, and scandal is hit. Siita walks into his apartment to find it in complete chaos. Everything is crushed, everything is broken, and there's the floor. All he hears are sirens in the background. Can you imagine? Siita and Dennis have been friends for years, essentially their whole lives, and they've grown up together. Their families are really close, but Dennis comes from a normal life and normal household, whereas Siita comes from well-to-do family and is the son of a minister. They've been best friends their whole life, and as they got older, Siita became highly promiscuous, whereas Dennis was also getting girls, but he was a little slower paced. By the time they got to university, Siita's father, the minister, had gifted him an apartment by the beach in his name for him to do whatever the hell he wanted to do. And more often than not, that is where Siita would take his regular conquests and enjoy life. However, Dennis is still his best friend, so he said, Dennis, look, whenever you're bored, whenever you want to hang out, we have my beach house, let's chill there. By the time they get to university, Dennis finally settled down with a single girl. Her name was Dinah. Unfortunately, Siita, being the man whore that he was, also wanted Dinah, but he just wanted to eat and go, so that's what he did behind the scenes without the knowledge of Dennis. And more often than not, he would take Diana, Dennis's girlfriend, to that beach house, and they would do what they wanted to do. Now, one random day, as Dennis, who was a big time football player at his school, was getting ready for inter-school competition, he came to his girlfriend and said, look, baby girl, I have a competition coming up and I need to train, but I was thinking of doing it by the beach. So why don't you and I go to the beach apartment, let's chill, we'll spend some quality time together, I will train at the beach, and we'll just have an all-round great time. Diana said, yes, that sounds great, baby, let's do it. So they go. Again, the only person with access to this beach house were Siita and Dennis. So Dennis and Diana go to the beach house, they do the jiggy, and Dennis says, okay, he's going to train. I'll be back in 3 to 4 hours. Dennis says, okay, bye baby, cool. At the same time, Diana had double booked her afternoon with Siita. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm at your beach house with Dennis, but he's got to train, so I got a couple of hours, swing by. Sharp, Siita appears. He's like, yeah, time for the jiggy. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't bright and he forgot protection. So he was like, look, I'm going to the pharmacy real quick. I'll be back in 15-20 minutes. Diana's like, okay, cool. Sure, I have time. So Siita goes, gets his protection, comes back. And as he enters the apartment, chaos. Everything is broken, destroyed, and there's on the floor. And again, he hears sirens. At this point, he has no idea what to do. He searches through the apartment looking for Diana and he can't find her. Suddenly, police arrive and arrest him on suspicions of SA. To the police station you go. Now, at the police station, Siita is like, I'm not going down for something I did not do, right? He starts to explain the situation. He's like, yes, this is my apartment, but I didn't do anything. And then he remembers that the only other person who has a key to this place is Dennis. And he starts to blame everything on Dennis. Hearing all this talk about Dennis, the police say, okay, look, let's get this Dennis person. So, okay, they go pick up Dennis and bring him to the police station as well. Now, Dennis, in all his confusion, says, I don't understand what you people are talking about. Dennis's alibi? He was training at the beach. Through all the interrogation, he comes to find out Siita has been sleeping with his girlfriend behind his back. At this point, the police have no idea what to do with all this information. Everybody's blaming the other person, and Diana cannot be found. So they said, okay, fine, the both of you will stay at the police station and we're going to look for this Diana girl. Siita's father hears about all this commotion. He says, look, I have money and connections. I'm hiring a PI, private investigator. The private investigator comes on board and finds out that the apartment complex and the apartment itself has a CCTV camera. He obtains the footage, brings it to the police. Whilst reviewing the CCTV footage, the police find out that there was a third person who entered the apartment, some other random guy. Now, we have to find Diana because she's the only missing link. Eventually, they find Diana and bring her into the police custody. And they say, look, Miss Ma'am, where were you between the hours of, and who is the third person? Diana, quick to deny anything. I wasn't nowhere. I didn't do nothing. Then they show her the police footage and she breaks down. She starts to confess. What really happened was the third guy goes by the street name Ecstasy. He is Diana's ex. And he orchestrated this whole big plan. For what? To get money from Siita's family. His plan was to create commotion within the apartment, get Siita arrested on allegations of SA, and then extort money from Siita's minister father. In addition, he told her that he truly believed that once a woman says that she's been SA'd, everybody will believe her. So there's nothing for her to worry about. That's all she has to do. Say she's been SA'd and shout wolf. So that fateful day, after Siita had gone to get protection, Ecstasy entered and broke apart the apartment, destroyed everything. He even went so far as to Diana to ensure that he left the floor. He felt that the fact that Dennis was also in the picture just made this whole plan even more worth it, because they could blame everything on Dennis. And that was the plan Ecstasy had sold to her. But by the time he was done ransacking the apartment and hurting her, she no longer wanted to be part of it. So she called the police the minute he left and fled the scene. Through it all, her tears and her begging for mercy, she said she no longer wanted to be part and pleaded with the police to let her go free. Eventually, Dennis and Siita were freed, but their reputation in school was never the same. Everybody spoke about them and they couldn't even be friends anymore. Diana was also let go scot-free, whilst Ecstasy, the madman behind the plan, was on the run. Now that's an entangled web. That's all I've got for you guys today. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.